Hey y'all, welcome and welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having a great Tuesday. If my voice sounds a little hoarse or a little different, or if I'm speaking low, it's because I do believe I have a cold, or it could be strep throat or a flu. I'm not sure, but it sucks. So I am trying to recover. But I hope you guys are having a great New Year's Eve. I'm posting early because obviously tomorrow is the holiday, so I want everybody to enjoy their holiday. And I hope you guys have fun tonight. Be safe tonight. I'm not going to be doing anything but just chilling tonight, doing some manifesting, some journaling, some praying. So yeah, if you are following my personal channel, you already know I have posted quite a few videos. I have a couple of vlogs on there. I just uploaded most recently Christmas as a single mom of 3. I have story time, life after divorce. I will be vlogging this weekend because we're going to be celebrating my boyfriend's birthday. We're going to a cabin over the weekend, so I'll be vlogging that, and that should be uploaded, I want to say on Sunday evening, but if not, it might be Monday after editing. So if you're interested in that, make sure you follow my personal channel. That will be linked in the comments below. And this video today is going to be Dates from Hell Part 4. Very entertaining. So while you are here, go ahead and like the video before you forget. Enjoy the content, and I will be back at the end with my commentary.
Let's finish it off. My top worst date of 2024. Now, every time I tell this story, people tell me that I'm making it up. People tell me that it has to have been a movie that I saw that I'm recreating in my head. I'm like, no, this really happened to me. People don't believe me, okay? But here we go. Again, on the dating app. Because like I said before, I don't listen, okay? Match with this guy. Again, I said, let me try something different, right? I usually don't date guys who are my complexion. I don't know why. I just don't. That's just not my preference. But I said, let me try something different. Let me try something new. Match with this guy, and he is also a Pisces, like me, which should have been the only red flag that I needed, okay? Anyway, I matched with him. Within about maybe a week, he plans a date. And I agree. And I get ready to go for the date. Now, that night, my son also had something to do in his school, and I did communicate that with him prior to the date. Let's say the date was supposed to be like 8 o'clock. I was supposed to meet him at 8 o'clock. I know I was running a little late. So I did contact him and say, hey, I'm going to be about 10 minutes late because I have something to do with my son's school, and I'm just reaching home a little bit later, and it's going to take me a little bit longer to get ready. He responds, he says, okay, cool, no problem. So let's say I told him I'll be there at 8:10. The date was supposed to be at 8 o'clock. I told him I'll be there at 8:10. I still arrived like around 8:04, okay? But I could not find the place that I was supposed to meet him at because it was like in this big like outdoor complex or whatever. I call him, I say, hey, I can't find the location. He tells me exactly where it is. I still end up reaching the restaurant about 8:10. He meets me at the door, and the first thing out of his mouth is, you're going to have to work on your timing. I should have just gotten in my car and went back home then, okay? Chalked it up to maybe something he got going on or whatever. You never know what somebody has going on in their life. I just laughed at him. Left it alone. We sat down at this sushi restaurant. He sits down across from me, okay? The waiter comes over, asks us, gives us our menu, asks us what we would like to drink. Again, I'm a tequila girl. I'm going to order a margarita. So before I could even say I want to order a margarita, he goes, she'll have the hot sake. And I'm looking at him, and he's like, what? I said, oh, I don't like sake. He's like, no, the sake here is amazing. You're going to love it. I said, I've tried sake a million times. I don't like it. I would like to order a margarita. He's like, no, she'll have the sake. I said, okay. Left it as that. That's another reason why I should have just got up and left. Anyway, the waiter's looking at us like really confused, and I just said, okay, whatever. The waiter comes back with some water. She sits the water down on the table, and I'm like, okay, I guess I'm drinking water tonight, right? She comes back with the sake. He pours himself a glass and pours me a glass and like pushes it across the table to me. He's like, try it. I said, no, I'm not trying it because I don't like it. He's like, no, you need to try it. You're gonna like this. I said, no, I know what I like. I'm 42 years old. I'm telling you, I don't like it. He's like, oh, well, we're not leaving this table until you try it. Excuse me? And then he laughs. So I'm like, oh, this is a joke. Okay, he's joking. Okay, woo. I thought he was serious. So the waiter comes back, and she's like, okay, would you guys like to order? And I turn to the waiter and I says, yes, I would like the chicken. I didn't even get it out of my mouth fully. I was going to say I wanted the chicken hibachi or something like that. And he was like, no, she's going to have the shrimp with mixed veggies. He's like, yeah, because I don't eat chicken. I don't eat any kind of meat. I don't eat beef or pork. So you're going to have to learn how to not to eat those things too. The waiter again is looking at me with her eyes like bulging out of her head. She's looking at him, and he's dead ass serious. She's like, yeah, she's going to have the shrimp. And I'm going to have this and this and this. said, okay, Alicia, how can you get out of this? Where can I, like, where is the door? Because I need to leave immediately. So the waiter turns to me. She's like, is that okay? I was like, that's fine. That's fine, right? Because I don't want to trigger him, okay? So we sit down and he's now talking. I'm not talking. He's talking. He's telling me all the things that he wants in a relationship, all the things that he's not dealing with in a relationship. He asked me if I ever want any more kids. I said, well, for the right man, you know, my time limit is running out, but for the right man, I'm willing to give him one more child. He's like, I don't want any more kids. I don't even want grandkids. Okay, I'm not having a child for you, so that's cool. And throughout the course of the time, from the time the waitress left to the time the food came, this man was so sarcastic. He would ask me a question, and I would give him an answer, and he would answer it with something sarcastic. So let's say he would be like, well, what's your favorite color? And I say white, and he'd be like, because you look white. Everything. So I just stopped answering questions. So he would ask me something, and I would be like, I'll joke it off. I'll just give him some kind of random weird answer. Nothing serious, nothing truthful, nothing. So the waitress comes back with our food. I pick at my food, and he's like devouring his tofu and his shrimp. He's having a great time over there and drinking his sake. And he's like, oh, you're not hungry? I was like, no, I kind of ate before I left, so I'm not really that hungry. He's like, well, you need to eat up because I'm paying for this. I start to pick up my food because I'm like, I don't know. We're in Florida. He might have his gun on it. I don't know. I'm just making sure that I know where the exit is so I can figure out how to leave this date. Like, I'm like, okay, but the bathroom is over there. We're sitting here. The door is that way. I'm like, is there any way I can go around the bathroom and out the door? I'm just trying to figure out how I can get out of this date. So he continues eating his food or whatever. He stops. He puts his plate down. He says, he moves his plate out the way. He says, I have something I need to discuss with you. And I go, what? He's like, I'm going to need you to work on your communication skills. Me? He's like, yeah, you, I'm talking to you. I said, what did I do? He says, when I text you, I need you to reply in a timely fashion. When I call you, I need you to pick up the phone within a timely fashion. And at this point, I'm looking around. I'm like, I'm being punked. One of my exes is punking me. My baby daddy, my ex-husband is punking. This gotta be a fucking joke. This gotta be a joke. But he was so serious. He was dead serious. And I was so confused. Because I'm like, what did I do? We were just speaking for like maybe a couple of days. And this man had the audacity to tell me I need to work on my communication skills. As you can tell, I left the date. I have not been kidnapped. I am perfectly fine. He insisted that he walk me to my car, and I blocked him on everything that I could imagine. And that was that. And that was my worst date of 2024. I wish whoever ends up with him plenty of luck. They're gonna need it.
A man made fun of my voice on a first date. This is by far my most memorable date of 2024. I was supposed to get dinner with someone, and as I'm ordering my entree, I order some salmon, and as the waiter's walking away, he repeats it. He goes, oh, you want the miso salmon? And like the same like high-pitched voice, and I'm just like, yeah, okay. I start talking about my day. He interrupts me to like repeat exactly what I just said again. And I'm just like, all right. And then he goes, wow, your voice is really high. How'd your voice get so high? Like, that's crazy. And I'm just like, I didn't do anything to get this. Just my voice. I'm saying something again. He interrupts me for a third time to mock me, to repeat exactly what I just said. And this time I'm kind of like, what's up? Like, what are we doing? I think we have different types of humor. Like, I don't think this is going to work. He starts talking about how his girl needs to get used to being made fun of and poked at and poked fun at because that's his type of humor. And like, if I'm going to be his girl like that, I need to get used to that. And I was like, I'm just not going to be your girl. I like being treated well, especially on a first date. Like, I'm not going to sit through this. Then this man was even more surprised because our waiter came back with our drinks, and I said, hey, I'm actually going to order my food to go. I'm going to pay for both of us, but can we have the check, please? And as the waiter's walking away, he's like, whoa, you're really leaving? You're really leaving? And I'm like, yes. Why would I sit through this? He's apologizing. He extends his hand. I shake his hand. I'm like, hey, apology accepted. The date's still over. Like, I'm still just going to go wait at the front of the bar. Waiter comes back with the check. I put down my card immediately. I tell him I'm going to pay for both of us. Ask the waiter if he can just wrap it up in 2 separate bags, and that I'm going to be at the front of the bar. I leave my date sitting there. I say, hey, I'm sure they'll bring your food over to you. You can enjoy this drink. I'm going to the front of the bar. I go back to find the waiter, let him know what's going on, tell him that I'm going to be at the front waiting, sign the check, go sit at the front, tell the bartender what just happened, because I'm like, I can't believe this man. And then the bartender and I actually did a shot together while we waited for the food. My date left immediately, and then I just had 2 entrees.
So I'm in my car right now after a first date, if we can even call it that. I just had to tell this story while it's still fresh and the emotions are still percolating. This guy had messaged me for several weeks on and off sporadically, usually asking if I was free last minute. Finally, he commits to 2 days in advance and says, how about Tuesday night? Great, Tuesday night works. He suggests the bar, suggests the time. I say perfect. So we're both running a little late. It's fine. It's LA. There's always traffic. I get to the bar before him and the door is locked. Because of course, it's mid-December. Companies are having private parties. I don't blame him for that. But I tell him I think they're having a private event. The door is locked. There's catered food outside on the patio. Do you know of anywhere else? So he's taking forever to park, which, again, LA, it happens. Finally, he walks up, not looking totally unkempt, but the vest he's wearing, I find out he's doing house renovations. Clearly, he is painting in that fucking vest. So he tells me, I'm kind of new to this neighborhood. I don't really know what else is around. I had already looked in my phone while I was waiting for him. I say, I only see one bar within walking distance. Let's give it a try. Now, granted, I have had a very long day. No, a very long month, a very long quarter at work. I am so decision fatigued and tired of running the lives of grown adults. But still, here I am, leading the way in this man's neighborhood. And so we get to the alternate bar. It's a little hole-in-the-wall place. I'm thinking maybe it'll be a little loud in there, not the easiest for us to have a conversation. But it's not anything super sketchy or out of the ordinary for a dive bar. But clearly, he's uncomfortable being there. I ask, do you want to get a drink? And he just kind of stands around and looks like, do I? But then I'm looking at the clientele, and I have no way to verify this, but I have a sneaking suspicion he's uncomfortable because most of the patrons are not white. And I'm like, okay, dude, I don't care if you want to stay or want to go, but for the love of God, just make a choice. And he's like, oh, we could maybe get a bottle of wine, go back to my place in my courtyard. And I'm like, how far is it? Clearly it's far enough that you had to drive here. So we start walking back. He had already told me about the shitty stuff he had to deal with today. He starts asking me about mine. And I'm just like, I gotta be honest, man, this is not helping. So we start walking back to the original bar where we met because they do have a little food stand where you can buy some beers and wine. And I say, okay, do you want to just grab a glass of wine or a beer here? And he's like, yeah, sure, we could do that. But can I Zelle you? He's like, yeah, I was actually running late because I forgot my wallet. Can I Zelle you for the cost of a bottle of wine? And as a disaster of a human being who loses all the time, if that had happened to me, which it very well could, the first thing I would have said when I rolled up late would be, I'm so sorry. I could not find my wallet anywhere. I was looking for it, but I didn't want to keep you waiting any longer. But no, he doesn't mention it then, doesn't mention it at any point in the 15 minutes we spend walking around the block. And honestly, again, I get it. Shit happens. But what gets me, what really fucking gets me, is that there's no hint of accountability whatsoever. Not one utterance of, I'm sorry, I fucked up. That's what I find inexcusable. That and the potential racism. So I literally just look at him dumbfounded. Like, seriously, bro? No, I don't want to Zelle you at this point. And he's like, oh yeah, let's just call it. And as I turn to walk to my car, he's like, oh, it was nice to meet you. And I'm like, let's be real here. Let's not pretend that this was cool. He just crosses the street, mumbling something to himself. Again, no apologies. And real talk, nothing about it shocks me. None of it. In the realm of dating horror stories, this wasn't all that bad. But it's just how pervasive and continuous it is. This man is 40 years old. And then people wonder why there's a male loneliness epidemic and shame women for choosing to be single. You think a sane person would choose to endure this? You want to complain how women are too emotional? Y'all are lucky I'm emotional. If I was thinking more logically, I'd have written you off a long time ago. And many women have. And you know what? More power to him. Because I don't begrudge any woman who doesn't want to spend her Tuesday night doing this.
For this story, this is the loudest that this could go, so make sure you turn your volume all the way up.
I'm waiting on my friend to come pick me up in Houston right now. And I just so happen to be around the corner from this dude house I used to mess with. And it's really triggering my PTSD. And I tell y'all, this was the worst person I ever dated. Let me just tell y'all a few things that he did. Mind you, my first time coming down here, he was like, you're not gonna have to pay for nothing. You don't gotta worry about anything. I went grocery shopping, You all said. And I was on a break from work, so he wanted me to come for like a week. And I was like, no, that's too long. So I'm just coming for like 3 days. I didn't even make it the whole 3 days. Red flag number one. I come into this beautiful apartment, but he don't have nothing in here. Mind you, he make it seem like he having it so much. I helped this man pick out a couch for like an hour one day. He tells me he goes with a different couch. The couch that's in there is used, like not gently used. Like I'm talking about peeling, fake leather, all that. Cool, whatever. Mind you, he said he went grocery shopping. So we walk around the corner to the liquor store. He has me swipe my card for the bottle. Get back to his house, not a juice in sight. And I'm like, you asked me all these things about what I like and stuff like that. So I'm just wondering, like, where's the juice at? Oh man, you always sweat me. You always on my back. I didn't have time to pick. Cool. So then, mind you, we downtown Houston. I think we finna go somewhere. Yeah, I'm just on some chill stuff. I'm just trying to be in the house with you. Get to looking up things to do in the area. It's this cute little bar in the park across the street. He gets to talking about how expensive it is. So now I'm getting where this is going. So I'm irritated, but I'm trying to make the best of it. I get on DoorDash and order me like some tacos or something. End up taking a nap after that. Now, while I wake up to this man whispering in my ear, asking me if he can have the rest of my tacos. At this point, I'm like, I want to take a shower. I asked him to give me a towel and stuff. While he go in his hamper and pull out a dirty shirt, I said I'm not using that. So he goes in the closet to pull out a clean shirt as if that made it better. There's so much stuff I'm leaving out, but just know by the time the morning got there, I was so irritated and I just wanted to get away from him. So I quietly get dressed and I decide that I'm going to sneak downstairs and go to the Starbucks around the corner because I had looked and it was like a 6-minute walk away. And that's actually made me think about that because I'm outside of that Starbucks right now. He really catches me as I'm putting on my shoes. He was like, oh, you just going to leave without telling me? I'm going to go with you. We walk to the Starbucks. I'm not hating him as much this morning. We get to the Starbucks. He walks to the back of the wall. So in that moment, I knew he wouldn't be paying for my Starbucks drink. Ooh. He would just lie about like the stupidest things. Like we walked past a Lifetime Fitness. He claimed to have a membership at the gym. Mind you, we downtown, his gym membership probably like $60, $70 a month. You don't go here, they don't know you, you're broke. It's okay. So eventually I just open up to him and tell him about everything. He told me I wouldn't have to worry about anything. I came out here and paid for literally everything. We've been in the house. I'm just not feeling it. I'm over. So then he tried to gaslight me. He basically was like, oh, I was just seeing how you was going to be. I plan on paying you every single dollar before you left. I was just going to send you one big lump sum. That's just how I get down. It's nothing. And I just had to wait till I got paid. He kept lying about working in this big office building down the street. I ended up doing a thorough background check on him. He did not work there. He lied about having a degree. He had a degree, but it was like a general studies associate degree or something. It wasn't the finance degree he was trying to make it seem like he had. It's all stupid stuff to lie about. Eventually, I decided that I'm going to take myself to a nice brunch in Houston. I'm not going to lie, I was originally going to meet up with this other dude, but I just was like, something told me that this man was crazy, so I didn't meet up with the other dude. I just literally took myself to brunch around the corner from his house. While I'm at this brunch, I'm basically vented to the bartender. He's a very nice man, but it's clear that he's one of the girls. He ended up sitting down with me, giving me all types of free shots. It's basically telling me that, like, girl, you do not need to be with him. He's a bum. I'm going to tell you what a good man at, and, like, told me where I need to go. As I'm sitting at this restaurant, I think I'm tweaking because his car is super loud. He's just driving, like, an 08 Mustang. I'm like, I just know that's not him. Mind you, I'm gone for maybe like an hour. I'm talking to my mom and my auntie. When I get back, he want to fight. I know you was out with another nigga. You ain't even seen me and I drove past. Like, you're actually crazy. And I knew then that I was leaving. If that wasn't enough, he didn't have a real TV. He had like a projector. And it was a Roku projector, so he had to use his phone to use as a remote. He picked up the phone, which was already open on his message. He was inviting a girl on a date to go see The Little Mermaid, like in that very moment. But he tried to make it seem like to me that he was leaving to go do DoorDash to earn some money. And I'm just happy to say that I'm glad I'm not dating anymore, but especially glad that I'm not dating in Houston. I lived in Dallas, so I drove almost 4 hours to meet up with this man. And there's a lot more to tell about him, so if y'all want to hear more, let me know. Ground report I actually just ran across the other day was absolutely insane.
Y'all, these dating stories just get funnier and funnier. Like, they never get old. They're just so entertaining. And I am crossing my fingers for all of those who are out there looking to date. Like, actually applaud the women and men who are like, you know what, I'm not dating. I'm just waiting for the right person. Or, you know, I'm not going to do too much until I find the right person. I applaud y'all because it is just a mess out here. And I am not for wasting my time or energy or even resources. So, you know, with the first girl, I definitely feel like she dodged a bullet. He was definitely giving controlling vibes to me. Like, he, not you automatically ordered for her dang near. Like, she said she didn't want that. She already was aware of what it was. She did not want it. And you dang near forcing her to eat it. Regardless, or drink or whatever it was. Dang near forcing her to order something she did not want to order. Sir. and then you done told her more than once there's certain stuff that she needs to work on. Well, what do you need to work on? Do you need to work on being less controlling of people you barely even know like that? Just imagine if she was married to him or had kids with him, how controlling he really would be. Okay, and then the little insults about her liking the color white because she is white. Like, come on. Like, I can already tell what he would be. And I definitely feel like she dodged a bullet because he's giving controller vibes. And I wouldn't be surprised if after about a couple years he turned abusive. So, and he's the type who will probably like spend a lot of money on you, get you nice gifts, all of that, and then you find out behind closed doors he's a monster. He could probably be a serial cheater and everything, have different lifestyles and everything. Nope. I feel like she dodged a bullet for sure with him. With the second girl, I don't I don't understand like why you would keep making fun of something that she already is clearly aware of. Like I'm pretty sure I've seen a story of hers before because her voice and her face looks familiar, and I believe she already spoke about a story time about somebody making fun of her voice. But she's has a little voice. She looks like a little person. That's common with little people having a little voice. She's clearly aware of that. So it's like you don't have to keep bringing that up. That's probably something she might even be insecure about. Me, I was tall. I am tall. I'm 5'11". As a woman, that's very tall for a lot of people. And in school, like middle school, I was made fun of for being tall and called me all kind of names for being tall, etc. And even though that was probably coming from just a funny, silly place for most of them, it still would hurt my feelings because I was taller than both the males and females. But as I have became an adult, that makes me feel superior now. Like, I love being tall. I wouldn't change that for anything in the world, but I didn't know how to deal with that when I was younger. So people are already aware of their differences that makes them unique, but you don't have to keep reminding them. Like people who are really, really skinny, you don't have to remind them that they're really, really skinny. People who are hugely overweight, you don't have to keep reminding them they're hugely overweight. Like I'm pretty sure they're aware of that. So it's like you don't have to keep bringing up that because that could be an insecurity for them. So I'm pretty sure that's the same for her, but I do love her voice. I think it's very cute. But yeah, he shouldn't have done that. That's what turned her off and not made her want to continue the date. It's one thing if you initially joke it, but to keep bringing it up, like, come on, bro. When it comes to the third date, he probably was racist 9 times out of 10. He probably did not want to go in there, but I'm starting to get the feeling he never wanted to go anywhere anyways, because he initially brought up them having a glass of wine or a bottle of wine at his home. And then I've noticed after they didn't decide to do that, he didn't want to go to the place, and all of a sudden he forgot his wallet. And you never know the lengths that people will go just to get you in their home. Y'all remember on one of the last videos I uploaded in regards to dates from hell, one of the guys flattened his own tire, and they caught it on camera, him flattening his own tire, just so she could take him home or he can go back home with her, etc. So it's like people will go beyond limits just to get what they want. So he might have had his wallet the whole time. I know in the comments a lot of people were speculating like I don't think he ever lost his wallet. He was lying. So I kind of agree with that. I don't think that he ever lost his wallet. I think that he just probably wanted her to go back to his house. Honestly, he was just, that whole situation was just weird, like, and not prepared. If you're going to try to take a woman on a date, especially if you have reached out to her more than once, then be prepared. Be completely prepared. Have everything planned out so you can impress them. Like, and then the last one, man, like I was going to include that at first because the volume was really low, but it was a good, entertaining story. Like, I just cannot, like, sir. And I feel like people like that, I feel like you just really need to get yourself in order before you date. And not even just men, women as well. Like, men are not your meal ticket to general life things that you should already have situated, like a home to stay in, food to eat, a car to drive. Like, they should not be your basic meal tickets, okay? So I'm not giving women any type of like kudos for not having their stuff together either, okay? But like men, because you are known as supposed to be the pursuer, you need to have your stuff in order. And if you cannot afford to take her on a date, then you probably should wait until you can afford to actually date somebody, court somebody, etc., and then do that. And then meanwhile, just work on yourself, go out, have a good time, have fun, but you shouldn't be, I feel like, dating somebody, or especially seriously dating somebody, if you don't have your stuff in order, because and then just like general, what's it called, like hygiene and mannerisms. Like, I don't know how old he was, but it's like, why would you give her a dirty shirt to dry off in? She's like, I'm not drying off with that. Like, and then she gave her another shirt out his closet. That's telling me that you ain't done laundry enough to even have a clean towel to give me. Like, I just cannot. I just cannot, y'all. So let me know what y'all think. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Let me know any crazy date stories y'all done had. I will see y'all in the next one.